We're live.
Hey, we're live, YouTube. How's it going, everybody? We are doing another Tap Takeover episode here at the.
We're live.
Hey, we're live, YouTube. How's it going, everybody? We are doing another Tap Takeover episode here at the Homestead. This is Catherine, but we're gonna do all the major introductions and everything later because we're still waiting for a little bit for everybody out there at the Homestead to get their beer. And we still have a couple little notes to do. We've already done our mic check and all that, so you won't have to deal with any of that nonsense today. But just be a little bit longer while we copy some notes. Cool.
Now if you can go back. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah. Probably gonna have you ask number 4.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, because it's big and long. And number 5. Number 5 is the. And by the time we get to number 5, hopefully we're or that one, like we need to push down in the order that we're gonna ask it because that's beer number 4. That makes sense?
Yeah.
6. We'll just tag team them today since you got all of it and you'll do the rapid fire. I got the your beer, in other words, on my phone because I wrote it on my way here.
Oh.
Yeah, fun, huh? So they're going to be a little bit easier. Rapid fire and your beer. All right, I'm good to go if you are. Because I'm going to have you. This is a PK question. This is a PK question. And we'll just tag team back and forth. I'll just scratch them off. So, like we do, all nice and easy. Sound good?
Sure.
And then it's right there. That's the one for you're gonna need for your rating or the game. Hey, Jen. She's the star, not us. Do you want to do my check real quick with what's her name, and then I'll flip that switch and we'll get started.
Sure.
Okay.
What? Where?
Where'd she go?
Somewhere.
She disappeared.
Somewhere. Can you hear yourself over there? From there? To there? To there?
I hope I can hear
There.
myself. I don't know yet.
There.
We need to get to
There. There.
All right, so we have one last
There.
thing that we need to do
There.
with you, and that's just making sure that you can hear yourself on the mic and all that kind of stuff. That you can. Yeah, we want you to be able to hear.
There. 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 Hey. Hey.
Hello?
Hello. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Am I too loud?
I can hear you.
All right.
I'm kind of deaf, so
Okay. So you are on. So I'm gonna make noise, and you tell me when it's too loud for you.
okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Testing. This is me getting louder and louder and louder. Almost everybody can hear me off mic. You good?
Yeah.
All right. That's about right where we expected it to be.
Okay. Perfect.
That's great.
I was like, oh no, great.
Oh no.
I have a little bit more sensitive headphones. I usually have to turn mine down
Okay.
quite a bit. PK, he usually turns his way up because he just rocks out to heavy metal all the time.
Yep. Same.
Dude, Backstreet all day. It's not even a joke.
Is it true that Backstreet's back?
I'll be.
All right. Come on. All right. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm gonna go get the mic or the speaker, and then we're gonna go.
Cool. Cool.
Cool, man.
Cool. Cool beans. Cool.
If I don't pull
Cool.
my ears out.
Got disconnect.
Cool. Water.
What time we got?
Words.
Oh, we are right on time today.
Wow.
That never happened.
Timely. Karate. Judo. Judo chop. Seahorse. Noises.
Oh, are you coming out? I mean, it's on. Yeah.
I am.
I just couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you right there.
I heard it.
All right, go. Testing.
Oh, test. Karate. Peanut butter. Pineapple. Beer.
Mango.
Homestead. Grand Teaton. That guy.
Passion
that guy.
fruit.
That guy looking at me. That guy is handsome.
Passion fruit.
That guy? That guy flipping me off?
Lightsaber. Lightsaber.
Jedi. Cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
Cheesecake?
Lots of dessert.
That means something else to me. Oh, good. Well, yeah, we don't want to.
Can anybody else hear
come
us?
closer to it.
Testing?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
I
cares?
like your shirt, by the way,
Shirt's great.
and I love your beard.
Wookiee Jesus.
That's my Jesus.
That's great.
Now we're just having fun, and everybody can see us doing our thing online. Yeah, it's pretty loud. I'm surprised at how loud it is in there.
So unless you hear us fucking talk.
All right, should we get going?
Sure, why not?
I'm just hoping that we don't like get feedback or whatever. If Sean will come out and yell at us if we get feedback.
Yeah.
It happens.
Hopefully.
I think he'll
Hopefully
let
we
us know.
don't. Are you comfortable?
I am.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. It's 6:15. So here we go. And counting down in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Homestead, for another episode of Brewnomics. We are here for the Tap Takeover live with Grand Teaton Brewing, and we have with us as our special guest today their rep, Catherine.
Hi guys. Thanks so much for having me.
You're
I
welcome.
am your host, William, and with me, as always, is my co-host, PK, also known as Paula Khan.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, I'm so thirsty. It's so hot today. We are having a little bit of inclement. I can't even speak anymore. I start the podcast, and this is what happens. Inclement weather.
There you go.
We had a couple
Big
little
words.
drizzles, so we are super fortunate that we are, able to have the show tonight. We can a little. We're getting a little bit of feedback. All right.
Our,
Yeah.
Our
Facebook and
our
YouTube.
producer is looking at us.
Our producer's giving us hand motions now. Oh, those are obscene. So they're not in a family restaurant.
There are children here, so
There are children here. All right, so we're going to, if if you don't mind introducing this beer a little bit, what do we got here?
Yeah, I'd love to. So 208 is a session ale.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers over there.
Sorry, drinking. Sorry, guys.
Cheers, PK. No, you're
Bad
fine.
luck. Spit it out.
Heyo.
So 208 is a session ale. It's made with all Idaho ingredients and obviously an all Idaho name. This one is my favorite of all our day drinking beers. Got a nice low ABV at 4.7%, really smooth body and taste. You can have a couple of these, get up, walk around, go swimming, go hiking, have a couple more, and just go on with your day.
This is great. It is an extremely crushable beer. The 208 session, and all of the ingredients come from Idaho, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Every single little bit. All the the water, of course, comes from Idaho, but then the hops, the malts, the grains, every
Yeah.
little bit of this comes from Idaho.
Got Idaho's own premium 2-row in the 208,
Sweet.
and all the little hands that helped make it are Idaho natives as well.
Awesome. Well, Catherine, now that we've heard a little bit about the beer and, quenched our palate, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working for Grand Teaton? What do you do?
So I haven't been with Grand Teton for very long. They hired me on at the beginning of the year.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So far, it's been amazing. Basically, what they hired me to do is sell their beer all over the southern part of the state.
Cool.
So I get to organize really fun stuff like this, tap takeovers with the Homestead, who is just fantastic. Everyone here is having a great time and enjoying the beer a lot. I get to go to Brewfest and represent the company and just kind of sell into places on a day-to-day basis and interact with a lot of really fun people.
It's awesome. Yeah, it sounds a little bit almost like a dream job. Hence why we have so many reps on our show.
I guess you could call it that.
That's awesome. Cool. Can you tell us a little bit more about the brewery, like the owners, like what are they into? Like what do they like to do, or what do you like to do?
Yeah, so the owners right now are named Steve and Ellen Furbacher. They
Okay.
are Texas natives that came up here to go skiing quite a bit, and every time they came up, they just fell more and more in love with Idaho and the mountains. As eventually they got to a point where they noticed that the brewery was for sale, and they thought this would be a perfect adventure to go on in a place that they really enjoyed being at, with a product they had always enjoyed. So it's very family run still. Their son and their daughter-in-law do most of the day-to-day operations in the brewery, and then it's still a very small staff, so we're all pretty close. It's a family-run business.
PK, you want to take the next one?
What else do you run? Do you run the Grand Teton Fight Club by any chance?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but the first rule of the Grand Teton Fight Club is,
And how did people find out about it?
I don't know, someone opened their mouth.
It's all that deep
It
snow
was not
winter
me.
powder.
Yeah, you run out of stuff to do.
Yeah. I can actually see that bar. I know it's not the bar that's in Fight Club, but that bar, because it kind of just seems like it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this just happens out,
Yeah.
Underneath the brewery.
The pass
Why not?
gets snowed in for the winter, can't go out, can't go in.
So what do you do? Fight Club.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But I would never talk about it if that were true.
You and the family.
Alleged Fight Club.
Yeah.
Legend Fight Club.
Alleged.
That's our new T-shirt.
Yeah. Fight Club and then alleged right over
Yeah.
there.
So, our audience kind of knows a little bit that, PK is definitely like, our sour expert on the show. And I like, really dark beers, and all of us really enjoy all beer pretty much. Like somebody asks us, hey, what are your favorite beers? And we're like, yes.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
But for you, depending on the day, what is the kind of beer that you enjoy? What's your favorite beer?
I think more times than not, I tend to gravitate towards those right middle of the road beers. I'm a big amber fan.
Okay.
Dope.
A Marzen is really great for me as well.
Nice. Bach.
Yes. Something that is right there in the middle with that nice malt backbone to it. But like you said, I won't say no to anything.
That's kind of
Of the beer
where I
variety.
sit. It's just usually you're finding a lot of stuff that has, at least for me, a little bit more complexity with that good solid, not too hoppy, not too malty, characteristics, but you're still getting a lot of complexities, like in like a Scotch ale or something.
Yeah.
That's usually where I sit.
Yeah, but that being said, when you've drank as much beer as I have, you start to kind of seek out the weird stuff. You're like, I don't know why you decided to put that in that beer, but I want to try it.
We had a beer the other day, and it was a kiwi cucumber. No, what was it? It was the kiwi cucumber habanero.
Oh, habanero.
Yeah, kiwi cucumber habanero beer,
Yeah.
and it was weird.
Yeah.
It was good for what it was.
Yeah.
It didn't lie on what it said it was, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of leads us to a little bit of a question later on. So, spoiler alert for that. We'll kind of hold that on hold for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm a little curious. What's in your opinion? What's the weirdest beer you had?
Okay, so looking back on it now, it wasn't that weird, but it was a few years ago when I was kind of first getting into beer. So I remember thinking at the time it was really strange. I was at Pizza Port, which is in Carlsbad in Southern California, and they
Okay.
had a Squid Ink Cascadian Dark Ale.
What?
It was
Okay.
called like Big Squid or something. I don't remember specifically.
But it had squid ink in it, like actual
Yes,
squid ink.
and so I had just barely gotten into beers. I barely knew what a CDA was to begin with. And then you tell me you're going to add squid ink into it. Thank you.
You're on the internet.
It was really cool, though. It made the foam on top kind of a purplish color.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was into it.
Were there like bits of squid or just the ink
It
itself?
was just the ink. I don't think there was any actual squid in
Now,
it.
was there a type of pizza that was like, made for that type of beer as well? Did they accompany each other at all?
Not that I saw, but I was definitely more focused on the beer than the food that day.
Okay.
I was into brewery hop.
Makes sense. So are you originally from California and then you moved up here?
No, actually, we moved here from Rhode Island when I was a little kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I consider myself not born, but raised in Idaho just because we moved here when I was super young.
All right.
Yeah,
Like that.
I was just visiting in California.
It's kind of the only way to do it nowadays.
Yeah,
No
I
offense
thought
to anybody
to
that's from
myself, I liked
California.
it, but I don't know, man. It's a lot of driving.
The hardest part about that is, yeah, California is much larger than what you would typically think
Oh my gosh.
if
Yeah.
you haven't been there. And then on top of that, they have massive traffic.
Yes.
So, like, Washington and the Sound in Seattle, is also pretty famous for horrendous traffic.
Mhm.
Where I grew up, and it'd take you 50 minutes to go. I don't know, 10 miles.
Yeah, there is no 5-minute run to the store.
Right.
It's the whole
exactly.
event. If you
Yeah.
forgot something, too bad.
Yep.
Get it next time.
And you almost always make your trip on the way home from something or something else because
Yeah.
you just can't take the time to return all the way back and then decide to go out again.
Yeah, you got to make it count.
So,
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm really spoiled here, but it took me half an hour to 40 minutes to get here from work,
Yeah.
and I was pretty pissed off about that.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, I can't believe how long I've been sitting in traffic. And then I thought to myself, this really isn't that bad. I'm sitting here in a nice air conditioned car, listening to some good music. It could be a lot worse.
And stop, no traffic.
Hmm.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, we can all see that.
yeah. Oh, on the internet they can all see that, but they can't hear it at home.
Sorry, I need to be
Once we
coached.
edit this, we're just telling her to scoot a little closer to the mic. That's
Help me.
awesome. So we talked about your favorite or the strangest beer. What about your favorite beer from Grand Teton?
One. I would say right now my favorite beer from Grand Teton is our Hoplexity IPA, which we do have on draft here. I'm not 100% sure which number it is.
I would think, yeah, because that's it's a year-round beer.
Correct, but the goal
But-
with the Hoplexity is to change it kind of in the same way that Firestone Walker does Luponic Distortion,
Yeah,
where they kind of have the same name that you come to recognize, but they tweak it a little bit every time, comes with a number, so you kind of know to expect something different coming up soon.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but the number one, the one that we're working with right now, is excellent.
Yeah.
It's really mellow on the palate, has a great soft mouth feel to it. It doesn't overwhelm any of your food. It doesn't blaze any of your taste buds off. It's really delicious.
It's great.
That's what I'm drinking right now, funny enough.
Oh, that's your sipper beer that you
That's
got
the
there?
one.
Mhm.
I was sweating earlier and I already downed my sipper beer, so I'm
I did
stuck
too.
with water. So we'll have to get some at the break.
Have water and tasters.
Water's weak.
Oh man. I feel like I would even have to narrow it down into a smaller category than that.
Okay. So you said Yeah, let's just go top of the top. You said kind of that middle backbone area, the
Mhm.
ambers, the marzens, the box, browns, that kind of thing. Like within that category, what is your top?
I think probably the one that I find myself reaching for, if I really go back to my roots, is Fat Tire almost every single time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love a good Fat Tire.
dude. I have fallen in and out of love with Fat Tire over the
Mhm.
years. It's very interesting in that when it first came out and I was in Colorado and everything, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great. Not only, because it was more fresh, but it was exploding everywhere and it was really good. It had a really nice malt character to it. And then before they opened up their North Carolina brewery, I think they changed the recipe a little bit. I think they added more hops to it to
Oh,
make it
interesting.
last longer for the East Coast trip.
Yeah.
And when they did that, it became too bitter for me. Like the balance was off, and it
Mhm.
was really just kind of weird.
Interesting. I'll have to revisit it.
That was probably back like I want to say like 2008,
Okay.
around that year. I mean, now it's 11 years later, and it's back to where it used to be when I first had it. It's that good again.
It's a very accessible beer.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
it's everywhere. You know what? I did actually just remember a new one that I tried. I tried at NABA at the end of May. It's from a brewery called Wild Ride, and
Okay.
they do one called Nut Crusher, which is like a peanut butter stout or a peanut butter porter. It is so tasty, and
Yeah.
I have found myself drinking it in 100-degree heat.
I've had that one before. It is one of my favorites.
I couldn't
It's
believe
great.
it because I've had a lot of adjuncts like Syntax from Mother Earth. That's another
Yep.
really good one that I liked, but this one just fireworks. I loved it.
Yeah, the peanut butter really pops in that beer. I
It
feel like,
does.
and it's because I think it is a porter. It's not a stout, and because of that lighter complexity of the beer, I think that the adjunct or the additive in this case being the peanut butter, is, just explodes like you said on the palate way stronger, which is
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
especially like once you kind of get tired of like the same old bland beer that you've been drinking again and again and again. Not that that's what everybody does, but when you're just looking to mix it up,
Yeah.
it's a good standby.
A little spice of life, as they
Yeah.
say, variety.
It's a good beer to pair with candy.
Yeah.
We did a candy pairing, and that was
Yeah.
excellent. It's
Come
like so
Halloween
much
time,
chocolate.
I will be knocking it back like there's no tomorrow.
Good.
I'm sure.
Good. You should. You should. Can you let us know a little bit about the history of Grand Teton? Something interesting, something that people want to know, something spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Mhm,
Front
mhm.
page of the magazine, huh? Well, a lot of people, there's a misconception with Grand Teton that we're a Wyoming brewery, and it is both true and not true at the same time. So, Grand Teton started out as the first brewery in Wyoming, but eventually, in around 88 or so, made the pilgrimage over the pass into Idaho, into Victor, Idaho.
Okay.
So, we count ourselves as Idaho's oldest brewery and technically Wyoming's first brewery, which is where a lot of the mix up comes from. It was a family-owned company, and then they sold to another family, which are the Furbacher that I mentioned before.
Okay. Well,
And
yeah, because I mean, I guess the other thing is, you guys are right on the border of Idaho.
yeah, when
You
you
are-
pull into Victor, the sign literally says "Last stop on the line"
Nice.
because it's Victor, a stretch of highway, and then you're in Jackson Hole.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It definitely seems like, especially with the 208 beer that we all just kind of finished up, you're very much Idaho centric, Idaho proud, as it were.
yeah, definitely. We were super happy to get the rights to that one. 208 is just people
Oh, yeah.
carry that one with a badge of honor around here.
Heck yeah, because almost everybody, if you're from outside of Idaho and you're listening to this, everybody in Idaho has a 208 area code,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where the 208 comes from. That's where you get your namesake. It doesn't matter if you're north, south, east, west, Idaho. Almost everybody has 208. I think there is one new one.
There is 986. I have yet to come across a single person that has that area code yet. I think it's mostly a lot of new businesses. But I mean, the state's growing like crazy, so
Yeah, it's probably just going to continue too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unruly almost that what is it, the 968? Is that what it was?
986, I think.
So from 208 to 986.
Yeah, those are going to be the two.
Put that in a rap song. It
Yeah.
just doesn't flow very well, does it?
We'll get
No,
Afro Man to do it, his second Idaho rap song.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be so great. Cool. Now, Grand Teton had just recently released the Collabosaurus with Bellbreaker and Hidden Mother Brewery.
Can I?
No, not at all.
Why?
I'm talking here. Don't talk about
Because
me.
I
What do you
wanna.
say,
I wanna. We're gonna have that beer later.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
oh,
Save
that's
that question
fantastic.
for when we have that beer.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
I'm thirsty. Let's have the next beer.
Everyone forget about what you just heard.
Erase it.
We're gonna jump ahead. Sorry, into the Grand Teton Amber Ale.
All right.
Is what we got here. Yeah, go ahead, Catherine. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so the Teaton Amber. This one is another low ABV, another sessionable beer. The Teaton Amber is actually the oldest beer that Grand Teton, the oldest recipe beer that we have made. So I would consider this one to be our most consistent and tried and true. It's got a really beautiful amber caramel color, really nice roasty malt, kind of a sweet caramely finish to it.
You were saying it's like a 4.7.
Yeah,
ABV?
very sessionable. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe.
Can't tell. Oh well. Sorry, we thought we were experiencing a little bit of feedback. If we are having any feedback, Sean or John, let us know. Let us know if we have any feedback. I keep hearing some kind of weird hum on there, but I'm sure it's just PK going.
I thought it was ghosts, actually. Don't ghost hum. Anyway, about this beer.
It's very good. I like this a lot,
Yeah.
and like I said, I kind of fall right in that same section where I really like the ambers and browns and
Yeah,
Marshalls and all that stuff.
I keep coming back to them.
Okay, so we are getting a little bit of feedback. That's what I thought. I'm gonna go turn the mic
Please
down. PK,
hold.
PK, take control of the show
I
here.
will. I'll take
Wrangle
the
it up.
reins. Yeah. What up, Kat? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I love that shirt. Can I
Thank
get
you.
one of those?
$20.
I need to earn that. Oh, that's super lame. That is super lame. I invite you onto my show. But let me know about this particular beer. So it's an American Amber Red Ale. That's what I'm reading.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This one too. I mean, I know that you guys already know this, but Idaho is that main barley producer in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be another Idaho focused beer, Idaho ingredient focused beer. And yeah, this one just happens to be one of my favorites because it drinks so smoothly. I mean, I feel like you can really find anybody across the board, no matter what style of beer that they prefer, that can make their peace with this kind of beer and really come to enjoy it.
I feel you. I agree with you. Now, let me know, what would you be doing while drinking this beer? You're gonna go play lawn darts, or I feel you. Yes, you can't hear me right now. I'm saying a lot. What? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, awesome. So let me know exactly what you would be doing while drinking this beer. I imagine you may be roller skating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love roller skate.
Oh,
well,
dope. Nice.
rollerblade. Not roller
Nice.
skate.
Now we can't be friends. Yeah.
You and I
Go all the way.
I had so many hopes, so many dreams.
I hear that a lot.
PK, did you skateboard or you just got something against rollerbladers?
I skateboarded.
Yeah?
I rollerbladed, but you gotta stay true.
All right. I grew up playing like street hockey and stuff, so
Yeah.
respect the rollerblades.
I don't know, man. Short shorts, headband. That's all me.
I can see it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Because it's true.
I'm picturing it now.
I can't see that at all because I don't think I've ever seen you
In
not
shorts?
in pants. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you in shorts.
Kat and I were just having this conversation earlier. Actually, I'm a pant guy.
Yeah, like
Except when he's on four wheels. And then
Exactly.
all bets are off.
all bets are off or all butts are off. 'Cause he said he was wearing short shorts.
I don't know.
All right,
Probably both.
probably both with knowing this guy.
Look out for me, Brew Crew.
Okay, somebody Photoshop that for us.
Catch him on the green belt this
Yeah,
Sunday.
there's
2
his
p.m.
photo right
Downtown
there.
Idaho. Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, I really like this amber. This is really good. I might have to pick up
I
a
can't
six
tell you,
pack.
I'm so looking forward to fall and drinking this, going to some football games.
Oh, heck yeah. Pumpkin beer. Are you a pumpkin beer fan?
I get excited for pumpkin beers for about a week, and then I get burnt out real quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I once, one of our earlier shows, you'll have to look it up if you're online, we featured in an entire episode of pumpkin beer. And I think that I probably had stuff thrown at me by the end of that show,
Yeah.
just because my other co-hosts, the Jerry and Vic, who could not be here tonight, may they rest in peace. Not really, they're not dead. They're not dead, but we can make fun of them as much as we want because they're not here to defend themselves.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. They are not fans of pumpkin beer at all.
I get it. I mean, it is definitely a niche market, and you never really know how it's going to end up. You get a lot of experimental stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to take a very quick break. We've been running for about a half hour. So we're going to go ahead and get the rest of our beers, and we'll be back on with an announcement of what those beers are for everybody here at the Homestead here very shortly. So stand by, Brew Crew. We'll talk to you soon.
I just realized.
Would you mind killing the sound on the mics? It's the knob next to the JBL. Nope. Yep, that one. Nope. The knob. Yeah. Just turn it all the way to the left. All the way. Kill it. Yep. Bingo.
You know, I just realized
What?
we didn't start recording on Audacity.
Oh.
I just now started doing it.
Okay.
Yo, thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
You're super chill.
Got caught up there.
We're gonna need you to calm your shit, but
I need to
Yeah.
drink water. My ass is sweating.
Ditto.
God, you're
I'm
awesome.
sweating
You're so
everywhere.
What's up, guys? That was beautiful. Good run. Yeah. All right.
Zach.
We are taking a break. Did we call your name? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do the last three, and then we'll announce it over the speaker. So hopefully people will go and buy those.
We will be back. If you can hear me. If you can't, that's totally fine.
Thank you.
Oh, that's kind of you. Thank you. I can take
Awesome.
you now.
Are you kidding? We forgot to do the Audacity.
I got in there maybe 8 minutes in. Somebody go look at it.
I'll.
We can do like a precursor, you know, be like, oh, we're having so much fun before we started the show. We forgot to.
Well, I can splice in everything that we, from that's on like YouTube and all of that. Is it still going live? Is it pretty good?
These are still live. This is Facebook right now. That's YouTube.
Okay. Did he take my napkin? He did.
He
took
did.
my napkin.
Yeah, we need that back.
Did you take a photo of it?
I did. I swear these guys suck. I'll send it to you.
Oh no, it's cool. I'll just write it down because all I need to do is announce it over the top.
I also need to pee anyway, so
Yeah, I'll let you go pee.
it works.
Because I control your urine, and I say when you can and can't go.
Let me see what kind of swag we can get aside from ourselves. We got the stickers, we got the koozies. I don't know if you want to keep yours or not.
I think she grabbed a couple of hats.
But she said we can ask her for whatever. I told her we give it to our people who follow us. So she was
Yeah.
like, ask her for whatever.
Yeah, I'd like a hat and a HP glass.
Well, I still have the koozies and some bottle openers I was gonna put on Facebook that I forgot about.
What's the last one? What number?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Are you sure?
So much ass. I am gonna friend you in real life. Cool.
Yeah, I'll go for that. That sounds great. Thank you. Here you go. I'll let you have that. You can go now.
I can use the right. Cool, thank you.
You're welcome. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot, YouTube. It is so stinking hot. everybody out there that's still listening. I'll talk to you since nobody else will. I don't even know who's listening. We're just going to have some fun. All right. So, one of the things that I noticed is that if you're a big sports fan, and I know we don't talk sports very much on this show, but if you are a sports fan, have you noticed on ESPN's coming back out with the Ocho? The Ocho. Oh yeah, something it's kind of joked about in the movie, little small movie, you might have heard of it, called Dodgeball. And yeah, they're gonna have a bunch of different um, sporting events on it, like pizza tossing. I think Tetris, like as in like video games. Like there's gonna be head-to-head Tetris matchups or something like that. Have you heard about the Ocho? Oh, you can't hear me because the speaker's not on. That's right. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think there's ultimate frisbee. I think there's what do you call it? The volleyball with the feet, where it's kind of like soccer, where you have to kind of, or hacky sack, but with the volleyball, and you gotta hit it over like a badminton net. Dude, that game. If you watch that, like if you see it, turn it on, because there's guys doing like bicycle kicks and everything. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Ocho should be pretty good. Check that out. Other news that's going on. Let's see. Disney Plus announced a bundle, a streaming bundle that includes Hulu and um, ESPN Plus on, and it's all for $12.99. So that looks like a pretty good deal. You should check that out. Looks like we got our beer here, so I'm going to turn the speaker back on, make our announcement. Thank you, sir. Hey, this way, right? And the ghost? Yeah, it goes in the bottom. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Not have to do that. I appreciate that a lot. Whew. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. All right. Sweetgrass, Calabosaurus, and the ghost. So.
Good thing you guys are recording.
Oh, it is live. Oh my god, it is live.
It's okay. It's a good way to prove that you have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Because then you can't get it in your mouth.
I've seen Airplane.
Oh, great. You actually got the original reference. Good job. Good job. All right.
Yeah, my mom raised me on like Airplane and Hot Shot.
Oh yeah.
And the Naked Gun.
Party foul. All right. Sour. You want to take a sip of that? That's the sweetgrass, but it's really full. That's our first beer that we're coming back with. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 for you. What? Are you following along? The beers that we're gonna have in this next order: 1, 2, 3.
These are mine?
Yeah, those are yours.
Cool.
1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, I'm gonna make the announcement real quick, and then we'll get back on the show. And we're still recording audio?
Yep, we're everywhere.
Test. Okay, Homestead, we're going to be having our next 3 beers on the show. If you want to drink along with us, you're going to want to write this down. And if you're not listening, write this down. The next three beers that we have on the tap takeover for Grand Teton are the number 35, the Sweetgrass, the number 32, the Calabosaurus, and the last one that we will be featuring tonight is the number 4, the Grapefruit Ghost. That is a sour ale. So a couple an APA or American Pale Ale, a IPA in the Calabosaurus, number 32. We're really looking forward to that. And the last one we're going to finish up with is a sour. So we're going to start up the show again in about another 10 minutes. Should give your server enough time to go and grab one of those for you. Last call again, it is number 35, the Sweetgrass, number 32, the Calabosaurus, and number 4, the Grapefruit Ghost. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
We'll see what Santa brings you if you're a good boy.
But I have the one that's sitting out, the Calabosaurus.
Yep.
I have that now. I just have this session.
Try pouring water on yourself.
Okay.
All right. So you wanted the list?
Oh, I think I found it.
Oh my God.
No. No, let me show you where I pulled it from. That way, in case you don't
Ready?
know.
Listen.
Untapped.
Yep. So search for Grand Teton.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to crash you here?
Can we get it on video?
So it's anywhere on this first page.
That's a lot.
And then before it refreshes.
Oh man, I don't know all these.
That's Tony Stark's opinion chocolate. It's the best fucking thing in the world. How much does that cost you? I don't even care. I want to buy it.
It's a beauty like that run yet.
See, now what I was thinking is,
We'll change you in half of that.
we get a picture of the hand kind of holding on to with the logo,
Okay. Oh, I
and we
love
say
it.
Thanos or Iron Man or whoever prefers Grand Teton Brew.
You have to collect all of the infinity points.
Well, I have the stone, so I can just snap my fingers and I have it.
But half of them go
Of course,
away.
then I can play this trick too. Here, check it out.
Didn't think through, did you?
Stupid looking.
I am super jealous of you right now.
Do you want to try it on?
I do.
So you'll feel the finger holes in there. There's a thumb one too. So put your hand super small. No, this is the Thanos or Hulk size one. No, I did that. No, well, yeah. So, yeah.
What'd I do?
Oh,
I don't know. What kind of batteries is this thing? I don't even care. I'll buy you all the batteries.
3 double A. That's it. I know, right? It feels awesome.
Just walk around wearing it like all day.
No, but the other thing it has, check this out. The other thing it has is it has display mode. So you lock this, pull it down.
So that's my buddy John. He's pretty awesome. He also geeks out with us a lot, and he just brought his Iron Man Thanos glove, Infinity glove. Those things are insane. It's fully articulated. You probably saw it online. It's pretty awesome.
I was gonna try and sneak it in and like start caressing
Right,
you like
yeah.
in the middle of the thing, but then you traded in spots. So I just decided to bring it out.
That's
Now
fine.
Now I gotta take it in and show Sean's girlfriend.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She loves all things. Are
Nerdy.
we still live on the YouTube?
Yeah, we've been recording all that.
YouTube.
The cameras are up there.
I know. I'm looking right there to see what I look like.
All right.
Should we do stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, let's give it another 2 minutes. What questions do we have left? And we've burned through a lot of them real quick.
No, we still have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Or I guess we
We
have.
still we did the history, right?
Yeah,
And we have the Calabosaurus.
that's coming up.
We don't have the strangest beer anymore.
Nope.
I have 6 and 8, and then the parting gift, which we can go over, and that'll go real quick. Plus, we got all the beer and the thing. We're gonna be fine. Let's get rid of the questions. Do a beer. Do the rapid fire. A parting gift. No. I think we close on the beer. The beer is the last thing we talk about, and then we tell people where they can find us.
Okay.
So we can get all the questions out, or beer questions, beer games, parting gift, and then out on the beer. Sound good? Cool. So I'm gonna write that down. Beer,
I will follow your lead at this moment.
beer cues,
Yeah, I'll read your thing too.
beer, number 4 beer, beer cues, beer, games. Number 5 beer. That feels tacky. I don't want to do the parting gift there. We'll just do the games and then we'll go. Dude, we'll save one question. Yeah, games. All right, what's coming out?
Cool.
Save the what's coming out question. So that gives you 5, 6, 5 and 6. Those 2 questions to get done on that sweetgrass beer. Unless things that you can vamp on.
I don't know, dude. I just kind of go with the flow. We'll just see what happens.
All right, man.
We're already at half an hour. We want, keep it at an hour or so.
So interesting, because normally we just go with the flow. Our questions we just went right through them. But that's good in a way.
Oh well.
It keeps everything moving, keeps everything entertaining. We're on time tonight, which never happens. So
Miracle.
is that my water?
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that I wasn't taking yours.
And this order.
This order.
Good to know.
That's your sour, sweetgrass, collab,
Gosa. Okay.
Gosa.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, I'll turn up the speaker, or you can do it.
Like halfway.
It's a little bit further than halfway. Do you want me to do it? Right there. It might be a little hot, so you might need to turn it down just a little, but who knows? Hello, hello, hello.
Talk.
Talkity talk. That's what we're doing.
Hotness.
We're talking beer.
Yeah, you do you, boo.
Yeah, we're right on time. Okay. Thank you again for
You're
this.
welcome
This is
again.
awesome. All right, welcome back, Homestead. We're ready for part 2 of the Brewnomics live tap takeover podcast. We're going to start off straight ahead like we always do with another beer. We're going to be drinking the Sweetgrass. For everybody that's inside that's still catching up, that's number 35 on the tap list. Yeah, dude, this beer looks really good. This is a American Pale Ale,
That's
right?
correct. Yeah.
And what else can you tell us about this beer, Catherine?
So, unlike an IPA, you're going to get a little bit more of a malt and hop balance with the sweetgrass. I find that of all of our beers, this one pairs the best with food. It just kind of has that middle of the road palate to it, but it does have a little bit of pininess and a little bit of spice to it that complements a lot of your typical food choices. So it kind of goes with everything.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh yeah.
This is good. It has a really good mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have a very strong, bitter flavor that's kind of scrubbing my palate down. But in that way, it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
And it lingers in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. Kind of like that friend that you like admire and you're like, oh, I just love hanging out with this person. And then, you're like, just stay around just a little bit longer and then they just smile at you and they're like, all right, now I'm going to go. It's not that
I
weird.
mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. What can I say?
Well, I'm just describing what I'm tasting. That's all I'm doing. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, yeah. If this beer was like a really good friend, that's probably the way I would describe him. Is
Yeah.
that one friend that you kind of want to linger around.
And it's kind of funny that you say that because the sweetgrass, what I run into almost more than any of our other beers, has the most nostalgic feel for a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
It's the
definitely.
beer. It's the beer that got them interested in Grand Teton in the first place.
Really.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people.
See, I would pair this up. Probably your most is your, and it's not, is your guys' Bitch Creek
Oh, yeah.
amber
That one
or
too.
brown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I first picked up the Bitch Creek, I was like, oh, this could be nice and fine. It says it's hoppy, but it's a brown. It should be nice and balanced. Should be okay. And it was way hoppy, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is attacking me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for it at the time. Now I since have had the Bitch Creek, and it's wonderful. I can see why so many people like it. But I would say that if you're not looking for something that's quite as dark,
Mhm.
the Sweetgrass is probably a very good complement,
Oh yeah.
right along that same kind of tasting notes in a way, but just not as thick.
Uh-oh.
So we just had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but hopefully nothing happened. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Hey PK, can I get you to check some things here real quick? Can you check to make sure we're still live recording, doing everything? I think we are because we're using a laptop and we have batteries, but sorry about that. Somebody just like killed our mixer. So I wanted to make sure like none of our settings got changed to default. I'll probably have to edit this out, but that's okay.
Blame it on the editing.
Can you?
This is still YouTube's still recording, Facebook's still recording. I just turned that back on.
Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So I'll just edit that out. It's fine. Yes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we controlled anyway.
Yeah, the whole thing just crashed. Train wreck. That's okay. I will edit that out for the formal cast. But yeah, I think we're good. All right. Sorry, where were we? We were talking about Bitch Creek and
Yeah, I was saying how I thought Sweetgrass is a good bridge the gap type of beer for people that are
Yeah.
just slowly starting to make their transition into the hoppier stuff, the IPAs, the APAs, the pale ales. Something that they can feel safe and warm about before they go out in that bitter, scary world of just those 114 IBU beers that just smack you across the face.
yeah,
Something to get started with.
not everybody likes having their teeth kicked out of their head.
No.
So that guy does. He just raised his
I
hand.
mean, sometimes you build to it.
Cool. I was gonna ask. I hope brew company.
Mhm.
I mean, they've established that they have the 208 session beer. We believe that, but being so close to Jackson Hole, we have to ask: where is Grand Teton more? Is currently more? Where is Grand Teton more? Is currently more popular?
No, that's actually a really interesting question because I think the answer might actually be Jackson Hole. Because
Interesting. Okay.
even though it is an Idaho brewery, it is much closer in proximity to Jackson Hole than it is to Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
That being said, a lot of Boise people love their local stuff. So they are going to gravitate towards something like Grand Teton Brewing, even before they're going to bring in something from Oregon that they already know and love. They're going to want to try the local stuff
Oh, heck
first and
yeah.
give it a chance, even though they know there's something well established coming from somewhere else.
Well, and honestly, when I first moved here, I didn't know where Grand Teton was. I thought
Yeah.
it was a Boise beer, so I was like, all right, it says
Mhm.
Idaho on it, I'll buy it. And I think that holds true, and especially just because, yeah, of how Idaho and the Grand Teton truly is. But is there any kind of like rivalry that you and your other sales reps have, kind of back and forth, like, oh well, I did this many, and anything like that?
I would say a little bit yes. I'd say the most competition you're going to get from your fellow sales reps is when you're all at a festival together and we're kind of competing to see who can blow out their kegs first. Like, oh, look at me, my
Okay.
beer was so popular, I was the first one to get rid of all my beer. But for the most part, especially being a newcomer into this industry, all of my fellow sales reps have been so kind and
That's
so
awesome.
welcoming to me. I was very surprised because it is sales and it's a notoriously cutthroat industry.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's beer. And if you can't relax and make friends while you're drinking a beer, you might be drinking it wrong.
You might be doing life wrong,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was talking to a fan of Teton and
You're
of
just being
Brewonomics.
mobbed by fans. I can't believe it.
I know, right?
There's
Yeah.
paparazzi everywhere at the
Exactly.
Homestead. I'm
Okay,
being
thank you for
blinded.
pointing it out. Not a
I'm
lot of
being
people know
blinded by
that.
the camera flashes. I know I'm supposed to ignore it, but I can't.
PK is.
Security, please.
Thanks, John. Uh,
Just losing control.
that's okay.
So I'm kind of curious. I don't know if Will had brought it up to you or not. I was a little busy doing stuff.
A suite for like the entire day. You show up at 9 a.m. to set up, and there's a line.
That at the NABA, people in Idaho will tailgate before going to NABA.
100%. And part of that has to do with the fact that a lot of people from Utah come up as well. So they're itching to get their hands on something over 5%.
Heck yeah, they are. I mean,
And they are ready to party. Let me tell you. I
sounds like the
I
place
wasn't
to
ready
be.
for it because I had just done small stuff, locally
Yeah.
up until that point. But that was something on a larger scale that I had no idea about, and I was just wide-eyed.
I mean, were people going crazy doing like giant?
Because it's a really interesting mix there. You have really small craft breweries. You have obviously where there a lot of local stuff, a lot of Utah stuff, but you have some big names out there. Budweiser comes. There's people sampling White Claw, Mike's Hard Lemonade. So you have people from all over that are just pounding alcohol, just having a good time, loving everything that they taste, and then just slowly falling asleep in the grass by 3 p.m.
By 3 p.m.
By 3 p.m. Yes, exactly.
Gently
That was-
snoozing away.
Wow. Well, at least it's they're docile.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't call it a horror story, but it really opened my eyes as to the fun people can get out of a beer fest.
Without drinking water. Yeah.
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 And all they had was that egg McMuffin 8 hours earlier.
And all the White Claw.
Ugh,
In a White Claw, yeah.
the White Claw.
So
I don't even know what to say about that.
would you say that's like your most memorable moment then as well? Just seeing all that?
I mean, it was definitely one of my more memorable moments. Like I said, that was when I was still working at a different brewery at the time. I was working in their restaurant waiting tables. So I wasn't even doing this job. I had no idea what sort of things could pop up. I was volunteered to hop on the train and help out one weekend, and I was really blown away. And so, obviously when a job came up for it, I jumped right on it
Oh,
because
good
I was
for you.
excited to get involved in the fun.
What's coming out next from Grand Teton? Like, what should we start to be excited about?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, we have Hoplexity Volume 2 coming out, and
Okay.
that'll be essentially the same base beer we worked with some new hops. We have Fest Beer, which is our Marzen Lager coming out for the fall, like Oktoberfest, which as we all know, starts at the end of this month. And we have our Black Cauldron Imperial Stout coming out, which is a fan favorite that everybody always looks forward to every year.
That's something I was going to ask you about, actually, is how is Grand Teton's barrel age program?
Our barrel age program is actually really excellent, and especially when it comes to barrel aged sours. There's not a lot of
Okay.
places, especially in this state, that really do a lot of barrel aged sours. You have Barbarian Brewing downtown, of course. They've started a fantastic program, but not a lot of people that are willing to sit and wait
Yeah,
for something.
most people that are going to do a sour are going to make it in the kettle, which is it's not. You can still produce a really good sour. I'm not going to say that you can't,
Yeah.
but in order to really pull all of the, I would say like the fruit flavors, it's very more similar to wine in that way,
Yes.
right? And that you do want to barrel age it.
Right. And a lot of people are sour purists and they want that really back of the jaw, like salivary gland reacting flavor that you get when you drink a barrel aged sour, something like a little bit heavier on the palate.
Okay.
So we've come out with stuff like our American sour, our blackcurrant sour, and that is just something that we continue to develop a little bit more every year. Obviously, we do a little bit smaller release 208, but it's always on the back burner. It's always cooking for us.
Yeah. If you're one of those whale hunters that are looking for that awesome craft beer, keep an eye out for that, especially if you like sours, because I know that has its own like little specific market of treasure hunters out there. So let's move on to the beer that I was most excited about tonight, the Calabosaurus.
Yeah. Let's do it.
This is one of your most semi-traditional IPAs, right? And this is a collaboration beer, right?
That's right. Yeah. So we went ahead and collaborated with Bale Breaker up in Yakima and the Hidden Mother, and they brew out of Post Falls. They have a partnership with Selkirk Abbey that's over there. One of our sales reps happens to be pretty good friends with one of the Bale Breaker guys, so they sat down one night, had a couple beers, and said, "You know what we should do? We should make a beer together." And it actually came to fruition.
And then they became best friends. So what happened?
Yes, exactly.
Good.
There's so much room for activities.
I just became best friends with that beer. Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Bale Breaker, I think their nickname is like the Hop Kings
Yeah.
of Yakima.
Yeah.
So they definitely don't skimp when it comes to that.
Everything's excess. Amazing. Wow, this thing keeps going.
And if you haven't heard of Hidden Mother yet, I would definitely recommend maybe hopping on their Instagram or something and checking them out. They are doing some wild stuff. I mean, they're coming out with stuff like a smoked morel mushroom red.
What? What?
Yeah, it's
Where are they from?
well, like I said, you're gonna find them mostly brewing in Post Falls,
Okay.
which is a little bit further away from here. But I mean, from what I understand, they're sponsored by Steel, the chainsaw company.
Okay.
So like I said, if you look on their Instagram, you'll see them cut down a tree. They'll make a little trough right down the center of the fallen tree, and they'll pour the beer down it, lighting a bunch of pine cones and stuff with it on the way. So you get all that pitch, all that resin that goes into their beer.
Holy crap.
They're doing some spectacular stuff there. So we were super lucky to get involved with both of these breweries.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
PK, I think you had a question about this earlier that we alluded to.
Yeah, I know. Then I got interrupted and I forgot.
The fans again.
Yeah, the fans. I've been drinking too much. Is there plans for a wider release of?
So as far as I understand,
Mhm.
especially with the Calabosaurus, I think Bale Breaker is going to be in charge of what happens next. They are not in this market yet. This is actually the first release of Bale Breaker into the Idaho market.
Yeah.
So-
It's always Bale Breaker, by the way. Sorry to interrupt that.
No, go
Keep
ahead.
your thought though.
Yeah.
It's always one of those beers that whenever I make one of my Washington trips out there, I always, when I'm stopping through Eastern Washington, whether just any one of the stops, I always try and find a grocery store because you're gonna find Bale Breaker and any of like their top cutter or even their double IPA, their bottom cutter are just fantastic. So find them if you're over in Eastern Washington.
Yes, definitely. Please do.
So continue, please.
But
Catherine.
yeah, what I was saying was that as they move forward into this market, obviously they are super conscious of what they want their face to look like and how they want to present themselves. So the Calabosaurus is dipping a toe in the water. I think so far it's been pretty well received.
Oh, it's
And
delicious.
moving forward, I am excited to see what happens furthermore with them.
What about any more collaborations with anybody else by any chance?
I think we're always looking for collaborations. You know, it's always a great way for the brewers to kind of flex their creative muscles. And obviously, we love to help out our fellow breweries that are either trying to make it in the market or maybe we need a little bit of help. Just something that is a friendly coming together of
Will you guys
beer
collab
drinkers.
with Brewnomics?
With who?
With us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't hear you still.
Oh, sorry.
My one
Sorry.
headphone keeps popping out of my ear.
Well, and PK wasn't really talking directly into
Just
the mic.
Yes, I
mumbling
was.
into
You were
it.
looking at me. It's recorded.
That's how cool people talk to the microphone. It's from the side.
All right. Well, no, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we'd love to take a quick, hop, skip, and a jump over to.
We'll
right,
do what we need to
uh,
do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you absolutely
over to,
We'll stir
should.
some
over to
stuff,
Victor.
and
Yeah.
We
we'll
have
pour some
our Oktoberfest that we'll be throwing September 28th out in Victor.
Okay.
If you find yourself 5 hours east of here, just randomly, you could stop by and check it out. We'd love to have you guys. Show you around the brewery, meet the brewery cats, meet the brewery crew.
Like if we roll up and ring a doorbell, you guys aren't going to ignore us and turn the lights off.
hmm
Good. You better not.
We're not home. I'm sorry. No.
Yes,
You'll have to go
exactly.
now.
You guys have brewery cats?
We do, yeah. So I mean, we're out in the middle of the wilderness. I mean, not really, we're not on the peak of a mountain anywhere, but
Yeah. I mean, you're not at the top of the ski lift.
right. That would be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
A high altitude, type
Yes.
of brewery. Be difficult, I would
No,
think.
but I mean, we're out in the valley, and critters come.
Yeah.
They come in and they see warm grain, and they start rubbing their little claws together, thinking that they're gonna have a meal. And Cagney and Lacey, our brewery cats, put a quick stop to them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's awesome.
And then when nobody's looking, they sneak into the tap room and they will steal your popcorn.
Oh, Cagney.
hmm
Oh, Lacey.
Mm.
So tell us a little bit more about the Collabosaurus. What kind of notes can we experience?
So
Like tasting notes, I should say.
yeah, with the Collabosaurus, there's two kind of main flavors that keep battling back and forth on my palate. That is coconut and pepper.
Okay. What? I'm gonna take another sip while you explain this. Like what are like? Are you talking like super hot pepper, super spicy pepper, or are you talking like just
or
like
more like a black
grain?
pepper.
like just regular grain pepper?
hmm
All right, I'm gonna sip this and
Yeah.
ponder that.
And the third one that has been noted to me that I struggle to find a little bit, but maybe you can find it, is lemon.
I definitely get the lemon out of it. I do
Mhm.
not get the pepper though.
It's so interesting. Everybody's palate is so different.
Right.
I pick it up a lot, especially right at the very end as it hits the back of my tongue.
It actually, now that you say that, it does sit back there.
hmm But like I said, and it really depends on the day. It depends on if maybe one of your nostrils is a little more stuffed up than the other, what you can taste and what you can get out of a beer.
If you're feeling saucy.
Exactly. There's really no wrong answer with beer tasting.
Yeah, I'm totally getting that coconut right at the start, and then probably that lemon forward flavor right at the middle of the beer taste. And yeah, like you was saying, just that hint of the pepper right at the end, kind of giving it almost more of like an accent mark to the bitters that are just
Yeah.
But now that we talk
Lingering.
about it, I totally smell the pepper though before I drink it.
yeah.
I
I'm
smell
all
it
right.
before
Smell.
I taste it.
Oh yeah, definitely on the nose.
Oh yes, lots of pepper on the nose.
You guys ever watch Pepper Ann?
Pepper Ann, the
Pepper Ann.
cartoon.
Yes, ma'am.
She roller skated.
She did.
Oh,
She did.
it all comes back to roller skating.
We were talking about roller skating, rollerblading earlier, right? I don't
We
even
were.
remember if
We
we were
were.
recording on that,
I don't
or
know.
if that was
We
during the
lost
break.
control very early in the show.
Yes,
Well.
we did. It's all right. That's normal for Brunomics.
When the beer is 4.7%, how can you control yourself?
Ooh, sick burn. We're gonna need some ointment for that. That was hard.
Now we had a question from a fan.
Oh,
Yes, a fan.
I can't see which one.
Our
There's so
fan.
many.
One of the ones
the
that's
handsome one.
Oh,
one-
the handsome one.
handsome
he's
one.
waving now.
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Okay.
He was curious about Grand Teton, or if you guys have any stouts or darks by any chance.
Oh yeah.
What would you
So
suggest?
actually, we were just touching on this for the stuff that's coming up for our fall season. We have two excellent dark beers that are going to be coming out. So first and foremost is our Black Cauldron Imperial Stout, which is something that has been coming around for a long time. It's a fan favorite. Get it while it's hot, folks. It is delicious. It is really, really tasty. It will knock you back onto your bar stool before you even know it. And then one that we're coming up with for the fall seasonal that I've heard a little bit of rumors of around the brewery will be a Mocha Rye Porter.
Ooh.
And I can't speak to the ABV on that one yet, but I've heard from the fans it doesn't matter so much. I don't know about you guys, but I am a big fan of rye beer, obviously with the pepper in this beer. I like that peppery taste. Big fan of that.
Awesome. PK, I think it is time, before we get into our last beer here,
Okay.
for us to do our rapid fire segment.
I suppose.
So,
I suppose.
Catherine is listed to earlier episodes. We kind of prepped her a little bit.
I tried.
And she's kind of a, self-proclaimed podcast lover. So we love those people on their show. But I don't know if she's ready because we do change up the rapid fire questions every time.
Okay.
So she might hear a couple repeats, but it changes. And without further ado, I'm going to hand the reins over to PK, who's going to MC the rapid fire.
Are you ready, Kat?
I'm ready.
Are you waiting for this shit? Cool. All right. First question: nap or work out?
Nap.
We've been talking about inline skates and skateboarding all day. This is our second question, so I'm going to skip that. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
God, I hate you so much.
Yeah, right.
Cornhole or horseshoes?
Ew. Actually, neither.
Say ladder ball. Please say ladder ball.
I like Can Jam. Have you guys played Can Jam?
What is Can Jam?
What is Can Jam?
Can Jam is kind of like cornhole except with frisbees.
Good radio.
Yeah,
Good
and your
radio.
partner slaps it in. It's very interactive and fun.
Oh, we'll have to look that up. Look it
Yeah.
up, Brew Crew.
We'll have to
Yeah.
play later.
Can Jam with a K.
Cam Jam. Okay, how about board games or video games?
Board games.
80s or 90s?
Oh, I'll go.
Invisible or fly?
I'm stuck. I heard someone coach me to say invisible, so I'll say invisible.
Well, that question says a lot about you as a person.
Just say invisible, so I'll say invisible.
Well, that question says a lot about you as a person. So
I
you didn't-
know,
you
and
didn't
that's why
answer
it's
in
too
general.
loaded. Honestly, if you want to know what my real superpower would be, it would be to stop time.
Oh, you'd be a time lord.
We'd like
Because
to
then
like
I could
that
sleep
answer.
in.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Oh snap! How about
There
this?
it
How about
is.
this? Fries or tater tots?
French fries.
Okay.
You straight up. just
Yep.
French
Yeah.
fries.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
It's-
tot man.
I'm also a top man, and I have to say
We can't
it's
be
very,
friends.
It's very interesting, that question, because it is incredibly divisive.
Oh, yeah.
That people know
Idahoans are
Well,
if
in
they
this
want
state,
tots
of
or
course.
fries.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree that it doesn't really matter as long as it comes with fry sauce.
Oh, truth.
We'll all
True.
make some peace.
Yeah,
Truth.
very
True.
true.
How about this? Cat or dog? Mouse, bird,
Everything.
Gila.
Bring it
Okay,
on.
turtle. I feel you.
I'm into
Godzilla.
it.
Favorite color?
Purple.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That is dope.
That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Fuzzy or squishy?
Fuzzy.
Morning or night?
Oh, definitely night.
Will or Paula? Who's the better friend?
I have
Just
to
say
go.
Brunomics.
Love Brunomics.
That's all I got, really.
Okay. What? No. All right. Yeah. No. There's. We're done with the rapid fire questions. Well done, everybody.
Did I do okay?
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah, you
kicked
did
a lot
great.
of butt.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, Catherine.
Oh, people are listening. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to our last beer. This is the grapefruit ghost, right?
Yeah. Grapefruit Gosa.
It's a sour beer.
Gosa.
Mm-hmm.
So PK is our sour expert. I'm probably number 2 on the list.
I'm a bit of a sour person.
He's not a sour person. He just likes the sour beer. Likes to taste it.
Oh.
We just had a fan say that I am definitely number 2 in their book. So take that for what it's worth.
You're number 2, Will. Thank you.
I'll just, channel my inner Rob Lowe from Austin Powers. Spy Who Shagged Me.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, who does number 2 work for?
I also like to live dangerously.
Wonderful. Go look up that movie if you haven't seen it as a youngin'. It's great. It holds up. Number 1 and number 2 do, anyways. Grapefruit Ghost, what can you tell us about it? Moving on.
Okay, so this is another one of our low ABV beers. It comes in again at 4.7%. Agosa is a traditional German.
I say that about a lot of sours as well. This is quite refreshing.
Oh
Yeah.
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 And you know what?
I
To be
could totally
perfectly
see it.
honest, I'm not a big grapefruit person.
You know, neither am I.
I find it overly tart a lot of times, but this is a great balance, and I think it's because of the salt. It's like when you're making a chocolate chip cookie and you're adding sugar and vanilla and chocolate and all of these things, and then you add a little bit of salt.
Yeah, you have to add
And
that
that
perfect
almost
amount.
exactly it helps accentuate the stuff that's going on.
Balance it.
Hmm.
All right. I'm going to take another sip here. Our resident brew expert. Oh, he did. Okay. Brew expert Sean, who's awesome and supports us all the time, is here talking about in the background and wants to make sure that I can taste the salt.
I would agree with that, especially as the beer has been sitting here for just a second, kind of getting closer to room temperature.
Yeah.
You are able to pick that up just a little bit more rather than just having it fresh off the top when it's ice cold. You're just going to get that grapefruit bite to it and that cold snap of like that lighter beer. But
Yeah,
once you let the beer
letting it warm up a little bit,
Mhm.
letting it, air out and breathe.
which I know is just like such an anti-beer concept to a lot of people, but especially with the darker beers, if you let it warm up a little bit, you're gonna find something there that you didn't taste before.
It's surprising how many people in Idaho don't know that about beer. That the temperature really does matter, and it's okay to not let the mountains turn blue.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, with a Coors Light, I want that ice.
Oh yeah,
cold.
that beer is meant to be drank
Come on.
cold. It really is.
It's the best thing for it.
But that being said, you have like an amber, a brown, even you start going darker with porters and stouts, or in this case, this Ghost of Sour. Let it warm up a little bit.
Yeah, let it sit.
Don't have it right at 31 degrees.
Maybe if you're a collector and you've gotten a bottle, pop the top off, let it sit as you're like making dinner or something, and then pour yourself a glass.
You gotta think of it much like wine.
Yeah, let it breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Although if you're a beer collector, you probably already know that. So I'm preaching to the choir here.
Well, if you're an everyday drinker, just let it sit. Let it be cool. Be
Yeah.
cool for a second.
Just be cool, man.
Yeah.
Let it go.
All right.
You don't need to drink immediately.
Well, I like this thing. Speaking of that, I'm gonna keep sipping on it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna move on to our next game here. The inevitable, always fun, your beer, in other words.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So here we go. Your beer, in other words. Nice, or I'm sorry. I started on the wrong one.
You've already lost control.
I know, I've lost control again. Here we
Mean.
go. We'll start off on something easy. Puppy Stream.
Puppy Stream.
Puppy Stream.
You gotta name the beer.
Oh, is that Bitch Creek?
That is Bitch Creek.
Damn,
Oh.
dude. Well done. Well done.
Rock on. Nice job, Catherine.
Thank you.
All right. Our second hint for your beer, in other words. Red Medicine.
Red Medicine. Pink Boots? No.
No.
Red Medicine.
I just got locked out.
PK lost his cheat sheet.
I lost my cheat sheet. I don't
Oh,
know.
he doesn't know either.
I don't know.
Why are you logging in? You didn't have to log in to get it. Just hit back button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how technology works? Oh my god, it does. Okay.
No, it is not only the beers that are here tonight. It is all of the beers on the main page of the Untapped list of their most popular beers.
Caribou Jack.
That's how we decide. It is not.
Cagney.
Now you're just saying things.
Because that keeps logging me out.
Red Medicine.
You're wrong. Okay. Fair enough. Fair
No
enough.
one? This is stumped people.
What is it?
All right, first time I've ever stumped anybody. The answer is Amber Ale.
Oh.
Amber is in red. Ale is in ailment.
Good for you, Will.
Red medicine.
Okay, I think the confusion comes from that I call it Teaton Amber.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, that's a brewery thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're one now. All right, let's do this.
I'll still take the loss though.
Cool.
I'm a good
Yeah,
sport.
you better.
I will.
All right. Our next hint: your beer, in other words, Forgotten Land.
Lost Continent.
Boom.
That's some
Easy.
BS.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah,
right?
I got that one.
All right. All right, here we go. Question number 4. Your beer, in other words. Nice doobie thing.
Nice doobie thing.
Nice doobie thing.
Sweetgrass.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
You are getting creamed,
Wow.
Paula.
You better get paid well for your job. Well done, ma'am. Well done.
Yeah.
I am getting paid to do this podcast, right?
By the way, coming up with
in hugs. Yes.
coming up with a euphemism for weed or other drugs that is homestead appropriate, kind of difficult. So went with doobie thing.
Hey, I like it.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, well
Yeah.
done.
It's a doobie
Now
thing.
he understands because grass. All right, senior missionaries.
Senior missionaries.
Just have dirty
Old
things to say.
Faithful.
Yep, Old Faithful it is.
Let's say
Dang,
sauerkraut.
I don't even think you can win anymore.
I don't know, man. Keep going. See how it goes.
Are you even looking?
I'm checking my Twitter.
Okay. For answers, hoping that somebody writes in.
No, people were just saying hi.
Okay.
My Twitter.
All right, this is kind of more of a phrase. The kettle calling it like it is.
Black Cauldron.
Jinx.
Oh.
Jinx. 10.
I might give
You
that.
actually can't
I
talk.
might give that on just a hair to PK, but mostly because I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I need one.
I see how it is.
I need one.
All right, your beer, in other words, party drink.
Best beer.
There it is.
Oh.
Best beer.
Oh. I was going to say double vision.
Yeah, that would also go.
It's a party.
All right, we're gonna go with a couple of deep cuts here for our last 3.
Oh no.
All right. Insightful cocaine.
What?
Bucksnort. No, shoot.
Oh, clue. That was
That's
funny.
brew beer.
Insightful cocaine.
Insightful cocaine. I want some.
Like I said, these are deep cuts.
Yes. Are you Googling?
Oh, I'm allowed to.
No.
You work for the effing company. I'm allowed to do this.
Oh, she's. If you're not watching, the look on Catherine's face was just priceless.
I'm
there.
not
She
looking.
was
I'm not
such a-
looking.
So aghast.
Scandalized.
I am not looking at her. I'm looking at it right now. On my
Deep
phone.
powder.
There it is.
Insightful
Deep powder.
cocaine. Oh.
Insightful
I
cocaine.
feel like that's a good band
Me
name.
versus the internet.
Dude, you're kicking A. You're kicking A.
All right, you ready for our next one? Scruffy Bullwinkle.
Mangy Moose.
Mangy Moose.
Yeah.
This girl's on it.
That's a wonderful beer name, isn't it? The Mangy Moose.
That's one of our accounts in Victor.
Yeah?
The Mangy Moose.
All right. Yeah, I read that and I was like, oh, the Mangy Moose beer? Okay. Yeah, I can see it. It says boob cider.
That is unknown to me. I'm
Is it
actually gonna have
unknown?
to.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to call in about that one.
How
Start an email
many
chain.
check-ins you got on boob cider?
Put those finger quotes down right now.
Only 9 check-ins on Untappd.
Only 9.
Of those check-ins. That's why.
Obviously.
That's
Obvi.
exactly it.
Obvi. I like them both. Cider.
Awesome.
And foods.
Well, cool. It's been great. Before we kind of wrap up and everything, and with our show, do you, Catherine, do you have a party gift that you mind giving us? Just telling us, what you've been doing, thinking, playing, going out there and experiencing, just something to leave everybody with that, they can go out and experience for themselves, like a recommendation or something.
Yeah. I think besides working this summer, I've been doing a whole bunch of floating the Boise River.
Heck yeah.
And I just started a new show on Amazon Prime called The Boys.
Oh, kicking ass.
That is a great show.
Hey, I'm only up to episode 6, episode 5. So don't tell me anything past that. If you know anything, I don't want to hear about it
Okay.
until a later date.
All right. That's actually the second time that's been recommended as a parting gift. So go check out The Boys. That
Love
seems
that
to be quite the hit.
Love
right
that
off the
comic
gate.
too.
It's on.
It's a crazy comic.
Yeah.
It's a comic?
Yeah.
Well, of
totally.
course it is. I just am out of the loop.
It's on Amazon Prime, correct?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
Also, through listening to my last few episodes of the podcast, I learned that you guys may or may not be Fast and Furious fans.
Yes. Yes.
So,
we are.
I
Jerry
was-
is the only one that's not.
I was gonna ask if you had seen Hobbs and Shaw yet.
Not yet.
I have not.
One of our
They got money.
in our sea of fans, I saw a hand go up that they have seen Hobbs and Shaw.
It's the Joey Fatone of our boy band has seen the movie.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, which
Thumbs
means
up.
for me, I'm gonna put about 8 thumbs up because I'm
Yeah?
into it.
So I heard a secret about that show.
What is it?
Ryan Reynolds makes a kind of an appearance on that. I haven't seen it. I don't know
All right,
if
everybody
he's
calm down.
introduced at the beginning or the end. I have
Because
no idea.
The audience does hear our other audience.
I mean,
So-
spoilers or not, I think that we all know we're gonna get our butts in the seats at the theater. There's gonna be some oiled up muscles. There's gonna be some car chases, explosions,
And who doesn't like
possibly guns.
It's Statham and The Rock.
I am
It's
on the
a Fast
inside
and
Hollywood
Furious
track
movie.
information. Because when I buy my ticket to Fast and Furious, I know I'm gonna get what I paid for,
Exactly.
which is all that,
Exactly.
and I am here for it.
PK, what about you? Do you have a parting gift to send everybody home with?
Drink Grand Teton beer.
Please do.
Straight up. Again, our audience is talking to us. I know you can't hear it, but I think he said something sexual, and I agree.
That's your parting gift. Something
totally.
sexual,
Something
and you
sexual.
agree.
Oh, that's a new T-shirt too, bro. Brunomics.
I gotta write that down.
And as another small parting gift to you guys, I brought you matching hats.
Oh, thank you.
Check that out.
So
That's
we have
awesome.
swag from Grand Teton. You guys
Yes.
will get it if you guys
Swag, swag, swag.
if you mention Brunomics and Grand Teton and be the first one. Really,
Yeah, we'll get it to you.
we'll send it to you.
They'll do it too.
Not you guys.
They're
F you
trustworthy
guys.
dudes.
Yeah.
I look like I'm 5 in the hat.
Do I
Yeah,
look-
that's,
do I
that,
look more colored now because of this?
that fits my baby face.
There it is.
Cool, awesome. Way to be
Backwards
a
is better.
bro. Way to be
Now
a bro.
I'm 12 instead of 5. I've got an attitude.
Well,
All right. My parting gift for everybody is gosh, there's so much that you could just be doing. I always want to say just get out and experience, the weather, go hiking, go fishing, and everything else. But I'm also gonna say there's even if you're not a boss, like just go and tell a coworker, email them, and be like, hey, I appreciate this about you, because honestly, there's not enough of that in the world, and you never know what's gonna happen. People, could leave or who knows. So go out and take advantage of that. Make lasting impacts on your relationships. That's my advice. That's my my parting gift to you guys. So, with that,
can we, Kat, social media for
Yeah.
Grand Teton, yourself, yada, yada,
you
yada?
guys are everywhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just at Instagram, it's pretty easy to find Grand Teton Brewing. Facebook, Grand Teton Brewing. We're always out there doing the stuff. If you see me at a festival, please come up and say hello. Mention the podcast. I'll shake your hand. Maybe give you a sticker or two.
Look
who
at
knows?
that.
Maybe a hat. Who knows what I'll have on hand?
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, they're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and it's all pretty much at Grand Teton Brewing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Brewing.
Brewing.
hmm
Got it. You can find Brewnomics at Brewnomics on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you want to interact with us, we're always on the Brewnomics Facebook group, which is the Brewnomics Brew Crew, and we're over here at the Homestead on most Thursdays. We're gonna take a break for a couple weeks, but we should be back hopefully for Rogue, which is I think on August 29th. Is when we'll be back here. But yeah, if you enjoyed the cast and everything, go tell a friend. Just help us like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff that YouTubers tell us to do. Other than that, think about what you put out into the world and make it a better place. Cheers, Brew Crew.
Cheers.
Thank you. And thank you for coming on and kicking ass.
Yeah.
Hell
thanks, guys.
yes. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It was fun.